And so I see a world where we will be ushering more and more older adults. 10,000 people turn 60 every single day. I see a world where Quincy is the bridge that is helping older adults navigate from Web 1.0, light browsing, email, a little bit of social media, to Web 2.0, telehealth, on-demand transportation, e-commerce, helping them unlock what the last 15 years has meant to digitally native generations.
Hello, and welcome to Not Born Yesterday, a podcast dedicated to older adults and the challenges and joys of aging. I'm Miriam Goodman. Not Born Yesterday is an award-winning program providing expert advice on issues related to older adults, their adult children, and anyone who works with or lives with elders.
Not Born Yesterday is brought to you by Next Village SF, providing services and support to older adults, and the Fromm Institute for Lifelong Learning. I'm Lynn Winter Gross.
Today on Not Born Yesterday, we're tackling a problem almost too familiar. Something goes wrong with our computer or smartphone and we feel stymied. We try different fixes, but nothing seems to work. Even threats and blaming ourselves won't help. If we're fortunate, we might have a teenager or a middle school grandchild nearby to help us with the problem. But fear not, you are not alone. If you're older than 40, you probably didn't grow up with an iPad in your crib or learn how to switch what you wanted to see on the screen before you could talk. Like the rest of us, you're probably amazed that even young children today seem to find technology so easy. But keep in mind that technology is changing so fast, even the young people often can't keep up.
Our guest today is Ryan Greene. Ryan saw this problem firsthand. As a student at Columbia Business School, he decided to create a way to help older adults with technology, and he developed a tech support service for older adults. His company is called GoGoQuincy. It connects customers to real people who guide them through their computer, Zoom, printer, or smartphone problems. His company is not the only one in this area, but since it provides personalized help, we thought you should know that help exists. Ryan, welcome to Not Born Yesterday.
Hey there. Thanks so much for having me today.
How did you get the idea to create this kind of service?
Coming out of the pandemic, recognizing older loved ones in my life were utilizing technology a lot more frequently and a lot more advanced than they had been pre-pandemic, I kind of recognized that I was either going to have to play tech support and the tech assistant to everyone in my family, which is about 12 or 15 individuals, or I could figure out a way to help them and the rest of the United States. And I was in class at Columbia Business School, and I pitched the idea, and about 3-4 weeks later, Quincy was a real company.
I read that one of your goals is not just to help the client with the problem, but also to show older adults that they can enjoy tech by learning about streaming services or entertainment, or even gain the confidence to call their friends on Zoom. Do you find that confidence building is working?
Oh, very much so. So on the one side of the spectrum, we created a platform that protects against some of the worst things or elements of the internet technology, scams, fraud. So we're constantly looking to protect our users. But on the other side of the equation, we have this opportunity, since we've created a safety net, to also introduce them to the best of technology, telehealth, e-commerce. Digitally native generations typically save 20 to 30% on the same products and services as older adults purchasing online. And so we wanted to change that story. Entertainment, on-demand transportation. There were just so many ways that we found technology wasn't being taken advantage of. And so we constantly look to introduce that to our users.
Can you tell us about the people who are answering our calls when we call or find them online? I assume that they have a lot of patience, and they have to be sure that we understand what's going on. And I read that you have empathy training. What is that, and how do you train people from around the world to have, and locally, to have empathy towards us and to help us with our needs?
Yeah. So we have 4 different stages of our training. The first is we need clear communication skills. So whether you are a technician in California, in Texas, in Kansas, in Colombia, especially Spanish speaking, the Philippines, wherever we choose our talent from, the first level is clear communication skills. The second is patience. The third is empathy. And for us, empathy is recognizing that there is a language that comes with comfort in technology that not all individuals and not all generations have. So you'll never hear us say, click in the top left corner, right? That would be, is it left click or right click? Where am I clicking in the top left corner? Our entire experience is designed around communication skills to outline each individual step. On your screen, in the top left corner, you will see a red circle or a green circle with an X in the middle. Most times we're actually fixing the problem for our users. They're always in control. They move their mouse or their cursor and the session ends, but it allows us to very calmly and efficiently fix most problems, which brings me to the last level of our training, which is specialization. We have the opportunity to hire talent that have worked with Apple devices for the better part of a decade, health plans and health portals, streaming services, and e-commerce, where they have spent the time necessary to understand the fundamentals and the advanced use of these technologies. And we make sure that all of these ingredients are blended together to just make a really positive experience.
What's the most common problem that your clients have?
There's a spectrum. Some will help, they'll ask us for assistance with navigating Facebook or even logging into Facebook. I've received an email that doesn't seem to be coming from who it says it's from. Can you just take a glance at this? On the other side, it's my printer hasn't worked in the last 3 months. Can you help me with that? So it's a fairly wide range. But what we like to think is anything that you see on your screen when you're looking at your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, anything that's on that screen, we can assist with. Something that I found to be really interesting is as we've developed our entire platform, we are always there for our users. You click a button, you give a call, and we're there to assist. But we've also started to introduce tools that help our users navigate technology by being able to rely on their family members or younger family members as well. So click a button and a screenshot can be sent to an individual that you've designated for them to give the first glance. Yes, mom, yes, grandma, what you're looking at is an email that doesn't look particularly safe. So we're trying to engage both the family as well as our technicians and our operators to just wrap everyone in a really effective safety net to just get the most out of the technology that's available to us.
Do you help people with telehealth appointments? It's more and more common for older adults these days to have a telehealth appointment, and it's kind of scary to think, how am I supposed to get together with this person online?
Yes. So it's one of the most frequent scenarios that we assist with, but I do have to give some caveats. Our mission is to get you into that appointment or get you onto that portal. Once you have logged in, once you are set up, we actually end the session. We recognize that there are certain areas where we want to be respectful of the relationship you have with your doctor or your health insurance, your health plan. So we will get you to that door. We will help you open that door, but then we have to leave you at that door.
When a client has a problem, how do they connect to your company? And how long does it usually take to solve the problem?
Have you used this yet?
I have used it, and it was very easy for me. I was one of those people with printer problems, and I was ready to throw my printer out the window if I could have lifted it up. And it was fast and efficient and no questions asked, and I was back on printing again.
Okay, so I love hearing that, and that just makes me so happy to hear. To your point, this is not an age-oriented challenge or problem in that I've never met a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, or 40-year-old who hasn't wanted to take their laptop, pick it up, and throw it out the window. So at one point or another in the week, probably in the day. So you're totally aligned there. As far as accessing your technician or accessing Quincy, there are a few different ways, and all of them get you to the same place. It's just a matter of what are you the most comfortable with or how quickly do you want assistance. You can pick up a phone and just dial a phone number, speak with an operator, and they will start directing you and hold your hand as we introduce a technician into the conversation. Another way, we have a Chrome extension. That Chrome extension has a help button in it where you enter in the phone number that you want us to call on. That makes it that we can help with any device. If your smartphone isn't working, don't worry. We can find another phone to call you on. Click a button, give us the phone number to call you on. Within about 2 to 3 minutes, a technician will be on the phone with you, and they can start assisting you that way as well. There are a few other ways, but those are the two most popular. You can also just go to the website and type in whatever problem you're having, and an operator will be speaking with you and be on the phone with you again in 2 or 3 minutes. So everything is done quickly, and you're always speaking with a human.
Sometimes when we try to call for help and we get somebody from a foreign country, we can't understand their English accent. How do you find your technicians, and will they understand us, and will we be able to understand them?
Being respectful of all cultures, the first thing that I have to say is our job is to cater to our user. So it is never taken, there are only certain places, one, that we hire from, whether it be in the United States or even internationally, based on how those accents align with US articulation and communication. We're hiring individuals that have accents that mostly that truly align with American dialect. And it is something that we spend a lot of time in our hiring process to make sure each technician, each operator, again, whether from California, from Texas, from Colombia, that each one speaks very clearly to the tone and the language skills of our user. So it's just something that is super important to us.
You spoke earlier about the fact that you had to be the tech expert for so many people in your family. I wonder if there are adult children of your clients who reached out to you and said how much they appreciate that you're taking their place or helping them. Do any of them feel that they really gain some kind of peace of mind knowing that their family member is now able to navigate technology safely?
Oh, yes. So we've started to become an employee benefit around the US by virtue of not having to, for companies, but also for older adults, to not rely on younger family members to be the caregiver, the primary caregiver. It makes family time again. We had just seen that family visits were turning into these technology support sessions. That's no longer the case. But with that, when you hear us on some of the news segments that we've been on, we're typically described as a grandchild on demand. So my thought is, at the end of the day, our biggest competition is the grandchild. The role we play is oftentimes replacing that sense of dependency on younger family members. It is a holistic approach to a problem. And it makes it that I proudly am working towards being America's grandkid.
What about passwords? I think most of the older people I talk to are so frustrated by not remembering their passwords and just wanting to scream like, I don't know, I can't find it, I don't know where to find it.
Yeah, talk about a universal problem. Me too. Good news and bad news. The good news is you're not alone. Passwords give everyone a headache, and I will not even be ignorant to say, or naive to believe, that all of us have created a different safe password. Not going to happen. All of us use the 1 or 2 passwords for everything. I don't condone the behavior, but I'm very aware of it. Quincy does not store passwords. We are very good at helping you stay organized with your usernames and helping you maintain and manage passwords, but we don't store them. We can just help you get to that door and help you open that door, or help you. We hold our users' hands constantly to get them to a password reset screen. Again, we don't see anything. We do not store any of that. We just want to make sure that any bumps in the road, we're just there to help you navigate through them.
Earlier, you mentioned one of your goals. What are your other goals for Quincy? How do you see it 5 years, 10 years from now?
So a question that we always get from potential investors is, do we see a world where Quincy isn't necessary? And it's something that I actually am pretty excited about, because technology evolves at such a faster rate than our ability to learn it and navigate it. And so I see a world where we will be ushering more and more older adults. 10,000 people turn 60 every single day. I see a world where Quincy is the bridge that is helping older adults navigate from Web 1.0, light browsing, email, a little bit of social media, to Web 2.0, telehealth, on-demand transportation, e-commerce, helping them unlock what the last 15 years has meant to digitally native generations.
Wow, that's interesting thinking about how far behind we are and what's ahead. What about paying bills online? I know a number of older adults think, should I be paying my bills online? Am I going to get scammed from doing that? How do I know if I should do that? What do you recommend for paying bills online?
So anytime you automate something, you run the risk of it automatically charging. The intelligence behind automatic bill pay is it costs older adults a lot of money by virtue of they are automatically subscribed to products and services. They are overcharged constantly. Let's call it a form of fraud, but it's one that is typically being billed twice for something is just, it happens more frequently than I think anyone should ever be comfortable with. And so where we help is if a family wants to set up automatic bill pay, 100% we can do that. We can help you find the right portal or the right service. We can help you navigate it. I always say, though, that aging is a spectrum. And I think for as long as you can prevent needing automatic bill pay, where you are individually checking your bills each month and more carefully making sure that you are spending appropriately and that you are not being taken advantage of, I think that's actually really important. I just watch a number of our users will struggle to cancel products and services, and $12 here, $15 there, $94 for when you own a home, everything is so expensive, gardening, automated, and all of a sudden you've moved and you don't even have a garden anymore. These things happen, and tens of thousands of dollars are wasted every year by individuals not going through their bills in enough detail. So this may be me putting on my business school hat, but I like people managing their bills a little more carefully than automating it. The moment where you're no longer in a place to manage your bills, I think that's a different conversation. I think bringing in a financial advisor is really important. And there's some great services that are super low cost that can help with that. But just putting in your credit card information in a bank portal and just assuming every month the bills are going to get paid, it's a really good way for a lot of money to be wasted.
But also helps in case people are forgetting to pay their bills.
100%. And so it is a balance, and we can certainly help to make sure that that doesn't happen. So to your point, it is important there is a time and place for it, and I can support it in a lot of situations, but there are also a lot of situations where it frightens me sometimes.
I remember sitting next to a man on an airplane once who told me that his brother had died, and for a year, the auto pay was paying his health club. And nobody had noticed it. It kept going every month. So yeah, we have to watch all those things. Since you brought up the cost of things, I wonder if we could talk about the cost of Quincy.
Totally. So I am truly on a mission to make it as affordable for everybody. With employee benefits, we're trying to make it effectively free for the entire family when you get Quincy through your workplace. On the other side of the spectrum, we've created two plans that I think align with most people's budgets, but we've also never told anyone that we can't assist them. So that makes it that please use us if you need us. One plan is $4.99 per month. That comes with all of our tools. And then every time you use us, it is just an $11 copay. We could do 15 different tickets or problems on that call. We could do one. Whatever it is, one call, $11. And then some people just like being able to click a button, know we're there whenever they need us. And that's just $18 or $19 per month for unlimited use, and you can cancel at any time. we are constantly learning how best to serve our users. And so truly welcome emails, calls, message us. If you think there's something that we're not doing correctly, we want to know about it. And it speaks to the benefit of, as our users always get to speak with a human, we can act on things a lot faster. So just give us a call, send us a message, chat it in. That keeps me up at night, that there is something that we could be helping with that we don't know to.
Well, you let me sleep better at night because I know you're there. So I'm sorry you're kept up at night by problems like mine and my generation. But thank you so much, Ryan. That was Ryan Greene of Quincy, GoGoQuincy.com.
Thanks, everybody.
Today on News You Can Use, we're talking about all those things no one tells you about aging. It may not change the results, but at least you'll know what to expect. The best news is that, according to a study by Susan Charles, a professor of psychological science, older adults are generally happier and less negative than younger adults. The study followed 1,000 people ages 22 to 95 over 20 years and found that the older adults reported the highest level of well-being, the lowest levels of distress, the lowest level of reported negative emotions, and the highest levels of positive emotions. Since we want you to know that aging does have some downsides, here is some slightly bad news. As we age, we become more distracted. Conversations in the background or flashing lights might interrupt our focus and cause us to remember irrelevant information as well as the important things. So if you're trying to learn something new or even have an interesting talk with friends, try to find a quiet, non-distracting place to do it.
As you age, you have probably noticed that everything in the body begins to sag. You probably notice it first in your face as the skin's outer layer thins out. Skin is also less elastic and the fat layers under the skin disappear. That's why we see lines and wrinkles. The bones in our face wear down, so our eyelids droop, and some find their cheeks are lower than their jaws. And we're not sure if this is good or bad news, but it seems that we need less sleep. It may take us longer to fall asleep or stay asleep, but the bottom line is we actually do fine on less sleep.
But there is definitely good news. We still appreciate humor. Not only do we keep laughing as we age, but it helps in stress management and keeps us socially involved. We're also more positive in our attitudes. The grumpy old man is just a tired old stereotype and not necessarily real, because age brings happiness for many. Older people are more optimistic than younger ones, and the older ones often remember the past better than it really was. The reason for cheerfulness in older age are not clear, but good health is certainly a factor in our outlook. So sagging or not, whistle a happy tune, laugh when you can, and keep that positive attitude.
And that's our podcast for today. Our thanks to our guest Ryan Greene of GoGoQuincy.com. You can learn more about Next Village SF at their website, nextvillagesf.org. And check out the FromInstitute.org, which offers a wide variety of learning opportunities for older adults. Our theme music is from Hook Sounds, and Jason Dahlstedt is our engineer. Shannon Greavy of A Bigger Room is our social media consultant. And thank you for listening. We'd love to hear what you would like us to discover and discuss. Please contact us at notbornyesterdaypodcast.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All of these are free and help us know our audience better. Be well, stay strong, and remember, you weren't born yesterday. I'm Lynn Winter Gross.
And I'm Miriam Goodman.